My name's Gavin from Manchester Video, and in this quick explainer video I'm going to show how to get footage from the Mevo camera, which is over to my left, into OBS Studio using a piece of software called GoPro to OBS. I've previously done a video about how to use the Mist server. That was quite tricky for some people to set up. It's free, so Mist server is completely free. You don't have to pay for it for sort of using it as a hobby type thing. But GoPro to OBS is a chargeable app, although there is a 12-day trial, and it is worth you using it, doing the trial, making sure it's going to work for you. So I'm going to show you how to get the footage into OBS. So currently I've got a Logitech C120 plugged into my laptop, which is what you're looking at now. There's no audio delay set up, and it's set at 1080p 30. So we're going to look at how to start off with GoPro to OBS. So we'll minimize OBS here. So the website is GoPro to OBS.com. Now, just something to bear in mind, this website doesn't have an SS. No. You need to go to your Mevo and enter RTMP as your destination. So we shall quickly go into the Mevo. So I've added an RTMP destination. You click record, click RTMP, it'll give you an empty RTMP address. And I've entered everything that you see on screen. I've entered GoPro to OBS as my my server name, just for simplicity. I've entered the stream URL as the IP address that's shown on the bottom here, so where it says RTMP 192.168.212. There's a couple of @ symbols with forward slashes at the end. You need to put all that in. Now, the Mevo wants a stream key. It seems to work with anything, but for simplicity, I've entered 1935, which is the port ID. Doesn't really seem to matter if you get that wrong, so I don't think it matters, but the Mevo wants something in there. So it does make sense just to put the port ID in. Okay, once that's in, you can press go live on the Mevo. You can choose 1080 or 720 as your stream res. I'm using 1080. So we press go. So now I'm sending a stream from my Mevo, and any minute now GoPro to OBS is going to receive that stream, and it's telling me there that there's a bit of latency. If I click the preview button here, it's going to open a little preview window. Let's move it to the side so we can see it. You'll notice that the latency figure is just climbing and climbing, which is this one here, the V24666 at the moment, and it just keeps going up. But there's no preview. Now, I know there's a clear buffer button, which I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to do. Give it a few clicks, nothing seems to happen. However, if you toggle the on button off and back on again, we turn it off, turn it back on, when it resumes, I get a preview. So I'm not sure if that's just my network. I've got a very simple network setup for this, and it's all hardwired. So there we go. Now we get the picture. So the picture on the left in the preview window is what's coming from my Mevo. So I can go wide, which then comes out there. I can go down to the iPad, which is there, and back to me. So what we need to do next is get this into OBS. I'm going to turn the preview off. I'm going to minimize GoPro to OBS. I'm going to open OBS. Now, I've already got OBS open so that I can show you how this works. So this is actually the picture from my Logitech webcam. There's no audio delay set up. These Logitechs are USB 2 devices. There probably is a bit of latency, but I haven't put any kind of offset in. It's just a lapel mic going straight into the laptop. Okay, so that's our webcam, the Logitech C920. I'm going to leave that graphic on so we know what it is. So I've got a scene set up here for the Mevo. So I'm going to add the Mevo camera. So the way that we do that, click the plus symbol, add a video capture device. And I've already here set this up as a webcam. So if I click OK, that is actually the picture from my webcam. Bear with me, there we go. Yeah, that's my webcam, sorry, my Mevo camera. But what you'll notice is that the audio is quite far out of sync. Let's just rearrange the order of these so that we can see. There we go, Mevo camera in OBS. There's quite a bit of difference in the sync. It's about 3/4 of a second. So, and I measured this, I worked it out, I did a recording, played it back earlier. So what we need to do is go into the advanced audio properties, pick the mic input, which is here, change that to 700. There we go, and hopefully, if I do that now, I'm in sync, and I can do all the things I would normally do inside the Mevo. So I'll just show you, as I know I missed that bit out. All I've done is added GoPro to OBS there. So that's what it pops up as a webcam. And I've actually got it left on device default, which is in this case 1080p 30. I haven't been into any of the other settings. All I do is add GoPro to OBS, which is a virtual webcam. And there it is. So as long as you get that preview working up front, bear with me. Yeah, as long as you get that preview working in GoPro to OBS before you start to look at OBS itself, then you should be able to add it into OBS as a webcam. So you can do all the things you normally do in OBS. You can play out videos, you can bring lower thirds on and off. What will happen though, if you bring in two cameras at the same time, which is what we're doing here, you'll notice that the sync on the Mevo should be correct, because we've got, and I'll just make sure we've still got it everywhere. We've got our 700 millisecond delay on the microphone input, but everything else will be a bit out. So you can see now, if I clap, the C920 is about a second or thereabouts, maybe 3/4 of a second ahead of the Mevo, and that's just because of latency. There's not a lot you can do about that, but we can swap the Mevo around in there. So what this might be useful for, if that was a play out in the other camera, so instead of the C920 being there, you could have a picture-in-picture of graphics, that kind of thing, something else that you're interested in, or to show on your stream, a video that you might want to play back. They should play back okay. You just need to bear in mind there's a little bit of latency going on. It's a lot less than the latency that there was in our TMP mini server, because there was quite a bit of latency in that. And I know Michael Garanin, the writer of GoPro to OBS, has got the latency down quite a lot, and I'm very pleased to see that, because it makes it much more friendly, much more usable. The reason I'm taking the audio straight into the laptop is when I send audio into the Mevo, and that's either using the Mevo's own camera, audio itself, the microphone that's built in, or using a USB device plugged into the Mevo and the Mevo Boost, we tended to find the audio was distorted, and it wasn't terribly reliable. Now that could be my network. It's a very, very simple network. I've got a small router with it's not a bad router. It's got a bit of memory in it, and I've got a 5-port switch, but there's only the Mevo 1 laptop and this iPad connected to it. So that's it really. It's dead simple to set up. It's a lot easier than Mist server, which is a bit tricky for some people. We do get a lot of questions about that. Now OBS